Two will rest on a couch, one will die, the other will live. Someone said, who are you, sir, to climb onto my couch and eat off my table as if you're someone? Jesus said to her, I'm the one who exists in equality or in balance. Some of what belongs to my Father was given to me. Well, I'm your disciple. So I'm telling you, if someone is equal or in balance, they'll be full of light, but if they're divided, they'll be full of darkness. And this is what he's talking about, of being in balance, of understanding you have a mind, but you are not your mind. You have emotions, but you are not your emotions. And that's what I talk about in the Red Book of Mind Hacking Happiness. To discuss that position of being able to take your mind and putting it aside, finding that balance of being in the world but not of it, if that makes sense. That's what he's talking about here. Saying 62, Jesus said, I tell my mysteries to those who are worthy of my mysteries. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. So what he's saying here is, like, I'm going to tell the people who are going to have a chance of getting it, the truth. And for those who aren't going to get it, Pharisees, Romans, I'm not going to share it with them, because I'm going to scatter those seeds. They're going to fall on deaf ears. So you don't want to know, you don't want to let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. What he's talking about is the different forces of folks who are ready to hear the message versus not ready to hear the message and won't do anything with it. Saying 63, Jesus said, there was a rich man who had much money. He said, I'll use my money to sow, reap, plant, and fill my barns with fruit so that I won't need anything. That's what he was thinking to himself. But when he died that very night, anyone who has ears should hear. Attachments of mind. Don't get wrapped up in the attachments of mind or the attachments of possessions, the attachments of self, because it's not going to get you anywhere. Saying 64, Jesus said, someone was planning on having guests. When dinner was ready, they sent their servant to call the visitors. The servant went to the first and said, my master invites you. They said, some merchants owe me money. They're coming tonight. I need to go and give them instructions. Excuse me from the dinner. The servant went to another one and said, my master invites you. They said, I just bought a house and I'm needed for the day. I won't have time. The servant went to another one and said, my master invites you. They said, my friend is getting married. I'm going to make dinner. I can't come. Excuse me from the dinner. The servant went to another and said, my master invites you. They said, I just bought a farm and I'm going to collect the rent. I can't come. Excuse me. The servant went back to the master. The ones you've invited to the dinner have excused themselves. The master said to the servant, go out to the roads and bring whomever you will find so that they can have dinner. Buyers and merchants won't enter the places of my Father. And what he's talking about here is the people who are weighed down by attachments of the mind. Don't get the benefit. They're distracted. They're distracted by the 3D space-time reality that is keeping them from the reality of the kingdom within. Jesus always talked in parables. This is another one that makes his same point. Saying 65, he said, a creditor owned a vineyard. He leased it out to some sharecroppers to work it so he could collect its fruit. He sent his servants so that the sharecroppers could give him the fruit of the vineyard. They seized his servant, beat him, and nearly killed him. The servant went back and told his master. The master said maybe he just didn't know him. He sent another servant, but the tenants beat that one too. Then the master sent his son, thinking maybe they'll show some respect to my son. Because they knew that he was the heir to the vineyard, the sharecroppers seized him and killed him. Right? What's important there? Your attachments of mind are an illusion. The reality of existence is what is now. Don't be led astray by your beliefs, because your beliefs aren't accurate. Saying 66. Jesus said, "Show me the stone the builders rejected. That's the cornerstone."
I'm not making any New Year's resolutions this year, and here's why. Years ago, I discovered there's a better way to make improvements to your life that's affordable, personalized to you, and realistic. And that's therapy through